Hello and welcome to the video on searching CINAHL. Let's say you've done a PICO and you have a good research question. Your research question is, should flu vaccine be mandatory for healthcare professionals? How would you search this? When you have formulated your question using PICO, underline the most important concepts in your question. What are the most important concepts in this question? Flu vaccine, healthcare professionals, and mandatory. How would you search for this in Google or Google Scholar? Remember that Google or Google Scholar only uses keywords. This means they only retrieve what you put in. So if you put in mandatory, for example, it'll look for the word mandatory. But if the article uses the information about flu vaccines and obligatory instead of mandatory, it may not retrieve that article. This is because Google or Google Scholar may not understand or interpret synonyms. So if you're searching Google or Google Scholar, you will have to think of all possible synonyms for the concept in your question. And your search string may look like this: flu vaccine or flu shot or influenza vaccine or influenza shot or immunization. That's for one concept. And healthcare, one word, professionals. Healthcare, two words, professionals. It could be healthcare personnel, healthcare workers, or healthcare employees. And for the third concept, mandatory or compulsory, obligatory, necessary, required. If you plug the search string in Google, you get over 644,000 results. The same search string in Google Scholar retrieves over 13,000 results. While you may get relevant results, especially in Google Scholar, these are still too many results to sift through, and you do not know if they are peer-reviewed. Let's see how CINAHL does this search. CINAHL stands for Cumulative Index to Nursing and Allied Health Literature. It has full text for over 760 journals and indexing for over 5,000 journals. To understand indexing, watch the video titled What is MESH in the Nursing Research Guide under Library Orientation videos. It is this indexing that helps you retrieve searches without having to think of possible synonyms or different kinds of spelling combinations. In CINAHL, there are 3 search boxes. Even though there are 3 boxes, when searching a database that has indexing available, search for only one concept at a time. On top, the search subject terms is enabled. This means every time you type a concept, it'll give you the index term. For example, you might type kidney failure, but the index term would be renal insufficiency. If you typed in heart attack, the index term would be myocardial infarction. The index is also called controlled vocabulary or MESH, M-E-S-H, for medical subject headings. In CINAHL, it's called CINAHL headings. Now let's search for the concepts in our question. Do you remember our concepts? Let's start with flu vaccine. The next page shows you that the index term for flu vaccine is influenza vaccine. So check the box beside influenza vaccine. As soon as you do, the subheadings box opens up. You can narrow down your search further to make it more specific. For example, if you're looking for adverse effects of influenza vaccine, you can check this box. Since we are not, let's click Search Database. Back on the search page, click on Search History under the 3 boxes. The first line, or S1, shows you that you searched for the medical heading influenza vaccine and you have over 7,000 results. Let's go to the next concept, healthcare workers. On the far right, you can see that the Explode button for health personnel is enabled. This means there are other index terms under health personnel. So this time, instead of checking the box, let's click on the word health personnel. Now you're looking at a tree view for health personnel. Scroll down until you find health personnel. You can see there are other terms indented under it, such as allied health personnel, alternative health personnel. If you click on the plus sign beside allied health or alternative health personnel, you will find more terms indented under it. To include all that is indented under health personnel, click the explode box for health personnel. Scroll back up and click Search Database. Now the search history tells you that you looked for medical heading health personnel, and there's a plus sign which denotes that you exploded that concept, and you have over 300,000 results. Now for the third concept, mandatory. You can see from the list available that none of these are good mesh terms for what we are looking for. When there's no index term, you should use a keyword. And remember, when you use a keyword, you should think of other possible synonyms for that keyword. Let's start with mandatory. To do a keyword search, go back to the search page by clicking the back button. Remove the checkbox on suggest subject terms because we already know there's no proper CINAHL heading. I'm going to type in mandate and then put in a star, which is Shift 8 on your keyboard. The star is called truncation, and truncation is used to capture all suffixes possible. So it'll look for words such as mandated, mandate, or mandatory. Then click Search. To look for other synonyms of mandate, uncheck the suggest box again. I'm going to look for require. Again, I'm going to truncate it so it captures required, requirement. Let's do one more. Let's stop here. Synonyms or similar terms should be combined with or. So mandatory, requirement, and obligatory are synonyms of each other, so they should be searched with or. Now that term is captured in line 6. Now you need line 6, line 2, which is health personnel, and line 1, which is influenza vaccine, all in the same article. So combine it with and. You have over 200 results. And or are called Boolean operators. The third Boolean operator is called not, which is used to exclude search terms from your search. Example, cloning, not sheep. Once you've finished all your searching and combinations using and or, click on the Edit button of the last line. A new page opens up. This page allows you to apply limitations. For example, you can choose to have only the last 5 years of publications, peer-reviewed articles, and English language articles. Another feature that is only available in CINAHL is that you can choose to narrow it down to articles written by nurses by choosing first author is nurse or any author is nurse. In your PICO question, if gender and age group of your patient were important, you can choose those limitations as well. Scroll down and click Save. Now you have fewer articles. Click on View Results. If you want to apply geography limitations, you can do so from the left-hand side. If you only want articles from US and Canada, check those boxes. Not all results retrieved will be completely relevant to your search question, but by searching using the correct index terms and by searching the correct database, you will be able to retrieve far more relevant results than Google or Google Scholar can. If you like an article, click on it to see what major headings or mesh headings they've used. You can use them and retrieve more results. If there is full text available for the article, you will see a link to it. When there is no link, click on Find It, and it will lead you to the full text. In this case, it tells you that the full text is available through Ovid Lippincott. Click on Go, and you'll get to the full text. If there is no full text available within the library at all, it'll prompt you to request it from another library. Click on the Go button and fill in all the required details on the electronic form. Staff at the library will look for the article and email it to you. This is called an interlibrary loan. To save your search strategy, create an account within EBSCO. To do that, click on Sign In and then create a new account. To save your searches, after you've signed into EBSCO, create a folder with the appropriate name and add all your articles to the folder. Thank you for watching the video on CINAHL.